Hello there. Come closer out of the dark and sit around my campfire, why not? My name is of no great importance, but the stories I have to tell you are. Witness 4 lost souls journeying together through a grim world of perilous adventure. Be warned, though. These stories are not for the faint-hearted, and once you have heard them, you cannot unheard them. Bear witness to the Vagabond Chronicles. Holy shit.
Roaming free in the world, trials and tales untold. We'll fight and we'll glide through the darkest of the night and find our way back home. Vagabonds are we, unlikely heroes to see. We'll fight and we'll glide through the darkest of the night and find our way back home. And find our way back home. Roaming free in the world, we'll fight and we'll glide through the darkest of the night and find our way back home.
Vagabonds are we,
Vagabonds are we,
heroes you will see.
We'll fight and we'll glide through the darkest of the night and find our way back home. To find our way back home.
Now the tale begins.
In
My
Hello there, and welcome indeed back to another audacious Vagabond's Chronicles, Chapter 7, which is innocently titled Cruel and Unusual. Hi everybody, and hi to the defendants. How you all doing? What's going on?
Hello, Neil.
In the dock this week, we have.
In the dock this week, Judge Death. So anyway, so very hi to everybody that's tuning in. Hi to Collective Chat, and also to our amazing mod team. Hello. We are, if you didn't remember from last time, if you don't know what the fuck this is the Vagabond Chronicles. I'm going to introduce you to the Vagabond's 2 suite, as it were, and it is a high fantasy, low fantasy roleplay game set in the world of the Warhammer First Edition roleplay, which is about 45 years old with some augmented rules, but we take liberty with that because honestly the story comes first. So first and foremost, let's introduce our I want to say a different word to defendants. Guilty, presumed innocent? Starting with initiative order.
Innocent presumed guilty.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Of course, I mean innocent presumed guilty. Starting
Where are
with
my manners?
Where are my manners?
I'm going to hand you the black cap now.
Starting with the highest initiative, which I believe is the thing that you on a long journey, and let's face it, you're tired because you've been behind the wheel for 16 hours. Suddenly you hear and you're just too tired to look in the rearview mirror, but you assume it was some kind of roadkill. Quint, who is played by, I want to say Mr. Clem. Hi, Clemmy.
Hello. I never tire of this. You're fantastic.
You're welcome. It's the extra effort I put into every introduction for you.
I know. And I can feel it. I feel the love. Anyway, I play Quint. Quint is a rat man in this world called a Skaven. Now, he is a little bit insane. He's been kicked out by his clan.
A little bit. More than a little
set
bit,
on fire.
A little bit more than, yeah, a little bit more.
Anyway, he's a he's a Skaven, and he's a rat man, and he has delusions of grandeur. He thinks himself a knight, so he's quite insane. He's banding around with these people because he has the opportunity to do noble and great things.
And have I got a how doody kind of surprise for you today? Very good. Moving on. Moving on.
That was loaded. That sentence.
That was pretty loaded.
Really was.
Moving very swiftly on to our next competitor, I guess, or contestant, depending on your point of view. Actually, I forgot the initiative order. Who's next? Who's up next? I think it's you. I think it's Granny fucking Smith. Fucking is her middle name. We established last.
Smith.
We established that last time that Granny fucking Smith is her middle. It's her middle name. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Jess, and I play Granny fucking Smith.
Granny fucking Smith.
She's a recent addition and has already caused quite a lot of trauma for the group. Let's see how it pans out.
Indeed, oh dearie, oh no! I think you're up a shit creek without a paddle, love.
Just a bit.
Yeah. Let's moving swiftly on. The alleged hedge wizard, formerly known as Ratigan under all legal purposes, played by Tom. What's up, Tom? How you doing?
Hello. I play Ratigan the Hedge Wizard, as Neil just said. That's correct. I be a wizard that live in a hedge.
I be a wizard tonight. Sorry, I just had to burst into song. Tonight, I be a wizard tonight.
I make up magic. Hedge. I like hedge. There we go.
Become a musical.
Amazing.
Love
Well,
it.
people have been asking for the Vagabonds musical for some time, so I
Seeding it there,
I
Tom.
feel we have to at some point do this. It's going to take a little bit of wrangling, folks, but at some point we'll attempt this.
Oh, I have faith.
I have faith. I have faith. As the best and by some country mile singer amongst us, Jess, it's going to be a good time for you. Let's put it that way.
You're going to be doing most of the songs.
Most of the songs. In fact, if not all of them. With occasional backing intro for myself. Lastly, but not leastly, is the defense attorney du jour. So that actually does. I'm just trying to think if that actually works. That does work. Played by our in-house Merrick. What's up, Mr. Merrick?
Yes, I play Merrick the Dwarf, who is a bit of a wheeler dealer in Bogenhofen, and he's found his way into the Vagabonds. haphazardly, I guess.
Yeah.
Started out as a wedding planner, and now he's a couple of chapters ago he found himself a battle dress and has now adorned it to become their I guess their representative in this court of justice known as Frida Convict.
I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot that your made-up name is Frida Convict.
So good.
Oh my goodness, it's so good.
It's German.
It's German. It's a little German. Speaking of which, what I'm trying to do behind the scenes, which I'm doing very well.
Absolute gold.
Absolute fucking comedy gold. I'm actually trying to do something which, if I'm very quick and clever, I might be able to get done before we actually start. Let's see if I can get into this. Tom, is there any community news or anything worth to speak of? Because I feel like we should do that. No,
we need to think of some community stuff to do to get some community.
Not gonna buy me any time when I'm just trying to sort this out. All right, that's fine. No, that's cool. That's all right.
We love our community. We're great.
So here's the interesting thing about this. That whilst you're doing that, I think I fucking got it as well. I think I've got it. Okay, all right. I'm pretty sure if this works.
I will say
some of
the artwork that I've seen from you from the community is amazing. I don't know if I've said thank you before, but yo, that stuff is incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we love your artwork. Keep the artwork.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, cool. I think I've done this. I think I may just be able to squeeze this under the post. And if I can, it'll be fucking awesome, dude. Let's get rid of this. Yes! I fucking got it. Okay, so there's something that I've just seen that you haven't seen, which I'm going to show you as soon as we get into this game. But very quickly, just as a recap, folks. So this is a game high fantasy, low fantasy, roll, all that stuff. It's a percentile game, but it's very similar to D&D. It's just that magic is not kind of as prevalent. It's very mistrusted. Why am I saying that? I'll get to that later. I'm going to move you very quickly to the board to have a very, very quick recap of what the fuck's going on. So here's the board. And if you can see over here, we have a courtroom scene because our vagabonds are accused of allegedly killing definitely killing 3 sewer jack guards and also allegedly being chaos worshippers. And the whole thing went horribly tits up as they're actually on the back foot at the moment, although they were winning the court case, as it were, against Prosecutor Pickles, who's over here, who's a little gnome, who's actually a very fierce lawyer. It is residing Heinrich Richter, I believe it's called. His name is Magistrate Richter. In the dock quite front at the moment is Quint. But over here, if you want to see this incredible model made by Mr. Klim, this is Frida. This is Frida Convict. This is what Merrick normally looks like. If you want to see it, this is the majesty that is Frida Convict.
A round of applause.
This is amazing. A round of applause. Let's get down to real
Look
size.
at that. Hold on, I need to get closer. I'm looking closer.
If you look
Hey,
really
make that bigger,
closely,
please.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Closely, you can see the brogues.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the brogues as well. Look at that. Look at that.
that.
Isn't that extraordinarily beautiful? He's stunning in regal and majesty and slightly intimidating as well. I'm going to put him down to what his size he should be, which is about this big. Amazing work,
Frida
Quint.
is, what an entrance.
Look at
a
that.
fucking entrance. In fact, I might redo the entire courtroom scene just so we can use that model as well. All right, so as we last had it, I'm going to paraphrase this horribly because I never really remember what the hell I said before. Prosecutor Pickles, who is a gnome of some merit and some distinction, has just had Quint turn up on the stand. His beady little eyes looking back at beady little eyes, and has whispered something particularly nasty into Quint's, the husk of Quint's ear, because he's had it burnt off many years ago. He's turned around to the court in very big dramatic display and has said out loud to the entire court, "This, my friends," or some bullshit like that I made up last time, "is a Skaven!" A hush goes over the entire courtroom as everybody gasps. Men faint, women clutch their babies to their bosoms, and Richter peers over and goes, he sort of coughs a little bit as the silence settles and the hush goes even more hushed. Richter looks over and points at Quint, I guess, and just simply says, "He doesn't look like a Skaven. What the hell's a Skaven?" Yes, what's murmur, little hubbubs and rhubarbs going around the room. So people are so, what the hell is a Skaven? What's a Skaven? What's Skaven? And Pickles just rolls his eyes very loudly. Roll, like that. And he just sort of turns around, he hops off the stool and starts walking backwards and forwards and very dramatically, with a lot of theatricality, it must be said, and says, "A Skaven, my dear friends, is an agent of chaos. It is a rat man, or woman, or however they define themselves. And it is something to be abhorred, and is essentially a crippling cancer on the Empire." And then he hops back on the stool, and then turns round and gives you a little beady-eyed look of, "What do you think about that, Ratman?" And then he turns back round and stares directly at Merrick. That is the moment. So what are you going to do, folks? Merrick, I guess you can legally do stuff.
Merrick, I mean, can I pretend to, like...
Faint?
Yes. Buy us some time, yes.
Yes, you can.
I sort of stagger back and do a very dramatic, like, "I've been lied to."
so you're compounding the truth. Excellent decision. Okay, so I've been lied to. You stagger back. You knock over the chairs. You make a big kerfuffle. One of the Bob the guard runs over to you, and he's very helpful. Helps you back up and goes, "There you are, madam. I mean, sir. There you are," and dusts you off and go, "You're right. Do you want some water or something?"
I'm pretty sure he's just a very, very grubby fella, though. I mean, I don't know. He looks like one to me. Do I need my eyes testing?
Okay. This might be a good time for Merrick to intercede in this
moment. Yes. Your Honor, I would like to I would like to
approach the bench.
Approach the bench and oppose what Mr. Pickles has been saying.
So if you're calling for approach the bench, what that legally means, which I'm going to give you an intelligence test to actually work out what that means, because you're not a lawyer. So if you want to roll the first roll of the day, intelligence. Sorry, not an initiative. Intelligence. All right. Have you been in the dock before, by the way? You can make this up.
First time, man.
First time you've never been caught.
I am winging it.
So you haven't even been a defendant, and you might actually know some lingo.
Know.
All right, that's cool. That's good. All right, I'm enjoying this. This is good.
Winging it.
Yeah, completely winging it.
I think one time I was supposed to be on jury duty.
Yeah, you were on jury, and you managed to get off because of some bullshit fucking problem. All right, what did you roll? It's a 39.
39?
What's your intelligence?
My intelligence is 31.
What do you have your suit luck, I believe?
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah, which is carried over from the last game. You can use it if you wish, and that will give you the bump you need to get over the margin of error.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. How many times can I use that a day?
I can't tell you that. Luck runs. It goes until it runs out, and you have no idea.
Oh, let's use it till it runs out. Then let's do it.
All right, cool. So you are now on this number. Oops, no, it doesn't work at all. You're on this number. No, why is it not working? You know what? Fuck it. I know which one I'm on. I'm just gonna keep rolling until some. That's no, it's the same fucking number. That's the number. Okay, good. All right, so you use it, and you luckily seem to remember a really shitty play by Dietrich Scheif. Which was a courtroom play about the accidental death of a juggler, and in it there's a courtroom scene, and approaching the bench you think means everything has to stop, and you and Pickles have to go up to the judge, and you have to basically, I don't know, whatever it is the fuck you're going to do, but basically it holds the moment. It can't go on record what you say and what Pickles says to the judge. But basically, you just pause the case at the moment. So anything that you say right now is in confidence, and the discussions between the three of you will kept off the books. This guy who's been keeping the minutes of the thing he looks and goes. Richter just flicks a finger and finger tuts at him, and he just stomps off. He looks really fallen crescent, and he just goes, "Oh," and he just walks off like this, so he can't hear what you're saying. You and Pickles approach the bench. There's little ladders that have been set up very kindly by Bob's for both you and Pickles to climb the
I love the accessibility in this place.
It's really forward thinking.
Very good.
I have to say, I gotta say though, the ladders have had their best days behind them. They are a little rickety, and they don't
least
feel
they're
very
there.
safe. But they're there. It's the arbitrary thought that counts. So
The architects had it in mind.
yeah, exactly. Well, these are freestanding ladders. You could actually.
Oh, they're just freestanding.
Somebody just propped them. I think there's actually paint splattered all over them. There's paint splattered everywhere. You think they're the painters? Anyway, both you and without thinking, you and Pickles go up your respective ladders, and Richter sort of peers down at both of you and goes, "Well, what?"
Well, Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Pickles, as much as I do admire his career, he is racial profiling my defendant here. And I believe that is something very dangerous to do in Bogenhofen, which is a very diverse city, one of the most diverse in the world, in all the realm.
Is he? Pickles goes, "Parumph," and his mustache flutters a lot. And Richter leans over and goes, "Oh, well, all that being said, but what race is he? I can't tell. Is that bad of me to say that? I don't know." He starts wringing his hands, looking around like, I don't know what to say. I can't tell what race he is. Is he an elf? He looks like an elf. Well, I guess he's not an elf. They're quite beautiful usually. I don't know what race is he? And he sort of looks at you like blinking. You can make a fellowship test plus 10 on whatever it is.
Initiative test plus 10.
No,
okay.
fellowship plus 10.
Oh, fellowship. Okay.
Are you wearing your shades as well?
Of course.
That's plus 15 then. Plus 15. Even though it's a darkened courtroom with very bad lighting.
Stumbles up the ladder.
That is a success. That's
17.
a pass. That's a pass. So a big pass as well. So you can essentially. What do you want to say? Because it's going to work no matter, but within reason. Don't go mad.
Well, unless your lordship, Mr. Pickles has a way of determining the exact race of this my client here, then I believe anything he has to say in regards to a Skaven is null and void. Plus, of course, he is tarring an entire nation of people or Skaven natives, and who knows how many of them are living in Bogenhofen. And this case, this case could erupt in ways that is far greater than the murder of 3 men.
So he looks forward and goes, "Are you saying that rat men, if that's the correct pronunciation, which I'm beginning to suspect right now, somehow sort of they refugees?"
Skaven natives is what they like to be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Skaven natives. You see, Skaven natives are some sort of like asylum? Is it seeking sanctuary? Is what's going on here? Pickles goes, "This is preposterous." He goes, "Listen now." Richter leans forward and goes, "Listen now. I might be in hot water, but that means you're in a bit of a pickle, Pickles. You better come up with something right now. You better come up with something right now, otherwise this entire case may get thrown out. Just watch yourselves." Pickles looks at you and goes, well, I can prove what I'm saying, that this is indeed a rat man, and indeed is dangerous, if you allow me a certain leeway." And with that, he sort of bows and wobbles off the ladder and slams the ladder back and forwards with his, trying to like reorientate it, and sort of, he goes, oh dear, and I seem to have pinched my finger. And so he sort of just stands there. He goes, "Skaven are, of course, a vicious threat, and as has been noted, and they are often told to children as bedtime stories, but I assure you they are very real and very dangerous, and this is one of them." And he sort of points at Quint. And Richter goes, "Well, okay, well, you just mind your P's and Q's." So Pickles sort of goes, "All right," and hops off and goes, he starts snapping his fingers for one of his assistants, who sort of bowls over and has a series of boxes, and in the boxes on a little tiny table, actually funny enough, very much like a painter's table that he found somewhere, just there, he sets up a string of boxes which have different letters on them, and each letter seems that, well, anybody that can't read, you have no idea what it says, but there's a couple of different there's like 3 different boxes, and within each one is sort of color-coded, I guess. So he takes the first box and just lazily lays it down in front of Quint. Quint, please make an initiative test.
Okay. Zooming out.
Yep.
Gotcha. There we are. Cool. Better make it good.
Very strong drink myself. 46. That's a pass, right, for you?
Checking initiative. Yep, I'm 59.
Okay, you can't smell anything from the box. You have a little whiff of it, and it just smells like a cardboard box, basically.
Okay.
And he sort of puts the box there and he goes, "Now, my friend, Skaven." He turns around for dramatic effect, and people again hush. "What's a Skaven? I don't know, but it sounds awful." And he sort of takes this box and goes, "Now then, my friend, I'm going to do a series of tests that will define your ratty nature." Apologies, no slur on your name, sir. And he turns around to Rat.
My
again.
nature.
No, not you. The rat man here. And he goes, "So, if you will indulge me, your honour." And he sort of turns to Richter, and Richter goes, "Indulged." And Pickles turns back and goes, "Right, the first test." He opens the box surreptitiously, presents it around the room, and then turns back, all whilst pretty much pirouetting on his stool, and then takes out the object in front of you. And what you see is a little tiny fishing rod. And on the end of the fishing rod, it's got a little line coming off it. And at the end of that line, he's holding something, so you can't quite see what it's attached to. A couple of people in the crowd go, "Aww, he's got a fishing rod," like that. When he sort of turns around and harumphs them, and then turns back to
Because
Quint.
he's a gnome.
Yes, yes, offensive. And so he turns back to Quint. Or in the court, somebody smacks a gavel. And then, so Pickles then opens his hand, and what you can see in front of you is a tiny little ball of fluff that looks vaguely like, it sort of looks vaguely like an insect or something like that, like a little grub or something, but it's all fluffy. And you can tell that it's made of some kind of rubbery type cloth material. And then Richter starts bouncing it backwards and forwards across the front of the desk that's in front of Quint. Quint, please make a willpower test. You have just seen something incredibly fluffy that's bouncing in front of your gaze, and your eyes cannot take themselves off of it.
It sounds cute.
Yeah, it's a little cat toy, basically. That is a 18. Okay, against all insurmountable will, the desire to pounce on it leaves you. And this little...
I'm not a cat, you know.
No, I know, but rats still get fascinated with things like that, and you just want to eat and gnaw things all the time. So this is what it looks like. That's a little thing there. Hi. A little hi there. Sorry, that's the thing. That's the little fishing rod little thing, and that's the little thing on the end. He bounces it around, and after about a minute or so, Richter leans forward and goes, "Prosecutor Pickles, yes." He goes, "Prosecutor Pickles, I hope this is going somewhere." "Yes, it is. Back in the box for now, but I think I proved my point on this one. Exhibition B, Exhibit B." Exhibit B gets pushed off. His little helper runs forward and grabs the box, take it away, and takes the little thing on the string away, and then brings the other box. The next box, Quint, you may make another initiative test if you wish, or you don't have to try and sniff out the contents of this box.
I'm wondering at this point if it's actually going to help me, because he's going to pull it out anyway.
It's up to you.
So, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just want to see what's in this box. I'm intrigued now.
Cool. He sets the box out in front of you. Exhibit B, ladies and gentlemen of the court. If you so please, Your Honour. He's a bit toadying, but there you go. And then he opens the box, and you get this instant whiff. This beautiful whiff. This amazing sort of smorgasbord of different smells. And he pulls out a whole bunch of rotten vegetables and rotten fruit, and he just leaves them in front of you. Please make a willpower test -10. Because you haven't eaten in some time.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a 39. What's your willpower, sir?
Willpower is... That's wounds.
2 wounds. Yeah, I don't think it's going to count.
That is a fail.
That's a fail. Okay.
Oh,
it
no.
smells absolutely fucking delicious. You can roleplay this, because I don't want to force you to do stuff that you wouldn't want to do. But you're going to have to roleplay not eating this gorgeous amount of vegetables and raw rotten vegetables and fish heads and fruit and crap in front of you. Basically a pile of rubbish. So you can roleplay it if you want, but you're going to have to roleplay.
Is Granny allowed to step in?
Granny can if she wishes to.
Granny's fucking hungry. She's gonna ask if she can have some herself, if that's all right, because they starved us in that prison.
And then people start laughing, because you're actually quite funny. And people start laughing and go, "Oh no!" And starts gavels banged. Richter's like, "Oh no!" In the court, people's like, "Oh, she's rather funny, isn't she, for an old bat?" And then, so what are you going to do in that moment? People's backs are turned. The prosecutor's looked away. Richter is banging his gavel, and people are laughing and guffawing at Granny Smith. What are you going to do, Quint?
Your Honor, I am a beggar, so I am kind of used to eating the many things which people wouldn't touch. So it does look very delicious from my eyes. I'm sorry if that makes me look guilty.
Okay. Richter goes, oh, what? Oh, yes, the case. To take that away. It's disgusting. Move that away from me. These are horrible things. And so Pickles goes, and starts looking at you again and scrapes off all the crap into the box skin and then clicks his fingers one last time. And this time, the young man who's been moving the boxes backwards and forwards takes the box and just goes, oh! Like that as he picks it up and then gives it to Pickles, who takes it very swiftly, sets it down. The instant hits you, and it is something which I'm afraid, Quint, you may be quite powerless to stop yourself from gorging on. So he sets it open. He opens the box with a little knife and cuts the corners so the whole cardboard box flutters down. And in front of you, you see a prime piece, a square, little one of those triangle shapes of gorgonzola cheese. And the waft that hits the courtroom thereafter is quite something. People start salivating and retching in unison. And you are going to have to make a willpower test. And it's going to be at -20, sir. And if you fail, you're going to have to fucking gorge yourself on it.
Who's retching?
Oh, just Bob. He doesn't like cheese.
Lactose intolerant.
He's like, oh. That is 100! That is the worst possible fail. All right, folks. Very nearly. So this is 96 to 100, which is a critical fail. It's like rolling a 1 on a D20. In D&D, 0105 would be a critical success. So he was only 1 point away, kind of, I guess, from getting a critical success, which would have been amazing. Instead, he's got the worst possible failure imaginable. Things go horribly wrong when you roll for critical fails in my system. So what happens? Okay, so at this moment you start gibbering and jabbering and nervously salivating. Kind of like Kif out of Futurama. Do you know when Kif does that stuff when he gets really nervous? Usually around women. I mean, he's like that. And your teeth start, like your mouth just opens. Your front two teeth, which are incredibly sharp incisors, which you're constantly having to bite things every day just to be able to keep them sharp because they're constantly growing. Your eyes sort of bulge out and go from beady to super beady and quite large. The remaining whiskers on your face stand out straight on end. And you and the rest of the vagabonds have an involuntary gasp, whether it's inward or outward, it doesn't make a difference, up to you guys, when you suddenly see that Quint looks more like a rat than you have ever seen. His hood sort of slides back and falls off, and people now are starting to peer forwards with squinted eyes, and suddenly somebody points out and goes, he does look like a rat, doesn't he? At that point, Quint, you just gorge yourself on this gorgonzola cheese. Crumbs are flying everywhere. Pickles jumps back in alarm at your ferocity of eating, and you just literally gorge yourself with a sort of cheese pretty much all over your face. And you stand there going, looking around wildly. Quint, you can take over the roleplay on this point.
Oops.
Okay. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your service. So you stand there. I'm now going to have to enact something that I haven't enacted for some time, that I promised you we'd be revisiting, and yet never really got round to it. Do you remember that moment in the sewers, Quint, when you saw that dead body up nice and close and personal, and you had a bit of a moment, and you freaked out? Do you remember that? Does anybody watch this fucking show backwards? No.
Oh no, yeah, I remember. It was in the corridor.
You didn't give me a chance to answer. My God.
Are you still eating the gorgonzola?
He's eating.
I just tried to let you go.
You're just trying to be polite because you've got a mouthful of gorgonzola left. Okay. All right,
Neil Train was going straight forward, so I thought I'd let it run.
Yeah.
No, I've 9 insanity points, and I'm on the brink of madness.
All right, you're gonna have to make an immediate call test for me.
Cool beans.
It's a straight call test. There's no modifiers. There's no negatives or anything. But if you fail, then something is going to happen.
Oh man, I should have doubled my fee.
That yes, you should have. That is an 83, which is a failure. Can you please now roll a d100 and let's have a bit of fun. Should have tripled it.
I love the relative nature of this fun you'll say we are having.
Okay. What'd you get?
It's a 70-something. Let's have a look.
That's 71.
Somebody read that second
71?
number. No.
1, I think.
Lovely.
Yeah, looks like 71.
Okay, alright, cool.
Yeah, 71.
Okay. Alright, so okay, please roll another d100, please.
Righty-ho. Suddenly my character gets very, very, very difficult to play. Arguably impossible. 36, sir.
Oh, that's not too bad.
36. Okay, cool. So I am now going to give you fear of gnomes.
Really?
Yes, you now have a fear of gnomes. You're now afraid of this gnome. So it's a racial trait. You can get rid of insanities if you wish, but staring into the tiny beady eyes of this tiny little gnome that has somehow caught you in the worst possible situation, which is essentially besmirching your good name by calling you out on the thing that you actually are, even though you're not of that kind of alignment and persuasion. He has literally done what nobody else has done before. He has taken the essence of who you think you are, and he's called it not only into question, but he seems to have damaged it to your very soul. You are now afraid of gnomes. If you see a gnome in the street, you'll want to cross the other side. No, you're not racist. You're just afraid of them. And if they attack you, you'll go in. You have to make a fear test. Gnomes are now essentially your biggest fear, kind of like clowns, but without the red nose and the strange wig. That makes sense.
I've got one question.
Yes.
How do you spell gnomes?
Oh, Gnomes.
No, I got it completely wrong. Cool. Okay, right. It's on my character sheet.
Yeah. So you are now afraid of gnomes, and you're afraid
He's
of
a
Pickles.
gnomist.
He's a fucking gnomist, mate. So Pickles is now this like sort of terrifying fucking demonic little tiny dude who's like pointing at you, and his face sort of seems to contort in your mind as your mind snaps a little bit, and he sort of, you know, in cartoons when people have those like dark nightmarish fantasies, and things sort of start elongating and going very grotesque. Well, his face sort of does that. Like he goes into like a grotesque cartoon of himself, and it's like
Ren and Stimpy.
kind of Ren and Stimpy-esque, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thanks for that. Because I was for 1 minute there, I was afraid of nooms.
You're afraid of nooms, whatever it is. Wait till you see one of those fucking things. They're terrifying. All right.
Oh my god.
So you sort of stun again.
Once in a full noom.
Okay. Can you please make another cool test? This is for the Musk of
I'm
Fear.
rolling all the dice today.
Hey, you're on the stand, baby. You just rolled Sad Neil. That's dangerous. Very dangerous. 27, you lucky little rat. Okay, so you...
Lucky?
So despite the fact your mind has just snapped and you're just saying, and your hands have come up into this sort of slightly like, you know when people hold their... You know like Burns hold his hands, Mr. Burns in Simpsons? He holds them like little Tyrannosaurus Rex little paws. Like that's what... Your little hands come up into like a T-Rex... Mr. Burns sort of esque position, and you're just going, and some grace of one god or another, you manage not to squirt the Musk of Fear, even though you are fucking terrified right now.
Cool.
And you're sort of sitting there shaking and shivering. And your robe hood has pulled back. People are definitely murmuring and talking and pointing at you. And at this point.
I have one more question.
Hang on a second. At this point, there is a genuine change in the mood of the court. The court all point, and some of them that are talking, the second this happens to you, they suddenly see you kind of for what you really are, which is a Skaven. Now, these are things that most people don't know about. That they are childhood stories, they're sort of nightmarish fairy tales to get children to go to sleep, otherwise the Skaven will come and get you. However, a couple of people have heard about them, and there is conversation that's bursting across the court at the moment, and people are literally, so a couple of people even literally leave the court at this point. A lot of gasping and pointing and hush to the point where Richter, who's sort of not entirely convinced what's going on, starts banging the gavel for order. Some of the guards bristle forward, some of the guards move towards you. A couple of them kind of half draw their weapons. Bob just stands there like, I don't know what it is, I just don't like cheese. And he starts chatting to one of the people in the courtroom, not taking intentions. The other guards move forward. The doors are then reinforced by a couple of extra guards, and suddenly the crowd starts. A couple of people even start like mildly screaming and go, "Oh my god!" and like that, and start freaking out. Richter starts banging the gavel. Order! I will have order in this courtroom, whether he is a threat. Skaven, order these things are called or not. I will have order. Bang, 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 bang. So the people are genuinely freaked out now, especially because this is an idea that they're actually seeing something which, up until a few minutes ago, they were convinced, most people were convinced, doesn't exist. It's just a phantom and like I said, a grim fairy tale to get children to go to bed quickly. However, the guards seeing the bedlam, a couple of them are now looking at the crowd, a couple of them are definitely taking up position around the tables, and these two are definitely drawing their weapons and now sort of pointing their weapons at you, Quint. This is a very bad situation. Also, I hate to say this, but potentially damaging for Merrick's case. Will Merrick get paid or not? Who knows?
Oh my lord, I still need to get paid for my wedding, let alone this.
Turning around, Pickles looks around at the court and sees the audience and, terrified beyond measure, sees doubt cast in Richter's mind and all the guards taking action. He hops very very calmly off the stool, very calmly, and then very jauntily sort of strolls back towards the prosecution table, looking at Merrick as he gets halfway and carrying on the look and sort of backs into a garb accent, and then he just turns to Richter and goes, at this time, no further questions, my lord, and then goes back to his table, and does a little hand gesture towards Merrick. Defense? Yes, sorry, Frida. Sorry, corrected. You just say Frida. even though he didn't call you Merrick, you just go Frida. Richter then looks to you and goes, defense, your witness, I guess?
Yes, your lordship, before we begin, it would be fantastic if you could actually call for a recess. That would be amazing.
Can you make an initiative test, please, very quickly, Merrick?
Yeah. Buy myself some time.
Buy yourself some time.
Initiative test.
85.
Yeah,
that's okay.
85,
You don't
right.
notice the thing that I was going to play purely for a gag. That's okay. I'll tell you afterwards. That's fine. So you're on a recess. Okay, make a fellowship test. I guess plus 20 because your case was going really well until it fell apart.
This is 20. That'll be 51. So I'm on 45.
That's
nice.
plus. Richter goes, well, it seems that the crowd is under, well, let's say not of the calmest of situations. I will grant you a 1-hour recess. Clear the room, please. Unfortunately, you'll have to stay in here, but I will see the prosecution into my chambers, and the crowd can wait outside. Clear the room! And so the guards start fighting everybody out. People essentially clear. The guards also clear as well, although a couple of guards are posted literally on Quint, and there's a couple of Bob and a couple of other guards are also posted on you. The court minute person leaves, as does Richter, as does the prosecution. And also the crowd, which I can't be bothered to move because it's just a lot of them. So let's just move the camera over here and pretend they don't exist. Hi. Okay, so you are surrounded by guards. However, nothing you say really is admissible. However, you should probably be a little mindful of the fact you're surrounded by guards. What do you want to do with Quint, by the way? He's still shaking and shivering with crumbs of gorgonzola off his snout.
Wipe your mouth, boy.
Legal huddle, legal huddle.
Legal huddle, yes. Staff meeting, that's what
It's a legal meeting. All right.
Merrick likes to call meetings.
All right.
Neil, I can take over at any point here. I've still got at least 2 ways out of this.
Yeah, you can talk freely amongst yourselves now, folks.
Can we huddle in the corner or something?
You can huddle. Yeah, in fact, you all get into a huddle. You look at the guards, and every time you move, the guards sort of move a little bit. So you, as a huddle, start moving. Like you move as a huddle away from the guards like this, and some of these 2 guards like come forward a little bit, and then you move a little bit further away, and then Bob sort of backs away because he's not sure what to do. There's running out of space, and then you keep huddling and keep moving, and the guards start like doing weird things, like coming over here now.
And we just exit.
Yeah, and you just exit the building. No, this is a very strong wall, let's say. So you end up in the corner over here, huddling with basically all of the guards sort of around you like that. So you've got like as much private, apart from Bob, who's actually very polite. But anyway, the guards sort of hemmed you in, and you're sort of in a huddle here. So you can whisper, and I'm going to say that your whispers probably won't carry. So you can speak freely now. Yeah.
I don't think it's going very well. It was going all right. That's good. And
Yes,
then,
thank you, Captain Obvious. Thank you for that. What the fuck do we do now?
That, Quint, have you got any ideas? Because I'm a bit concerned.
Despite my slight lapse, that was I don't know what that hideous little creature is. but I do have I think I have an idea. Quint is now going to go into narrative. Quint's mind races. His usual tricks, the tricks that have kept him safe, are not working. He thinks back to his angry, foolish words in the prison, his cheese incident, and the words of his mentor, Quintilius, the human who reforged him, and in his memory he found his human name. A night is calm in the face of adversity, young Skitch. Quintilius, yes. The stories of knighthood, of legend, of folklore, and curses. Oh yes, curses. Of course. I do believe I have a way to explain my way out of this. Nice dress, by the way.
Thank you.
He's looking down your cleavage as he says so.
Eyes up here.
I apologize. Cool. I've got a plan. I've still got a plan.
Good, because I have no way of knowing how to defend you.
I'm completely fucking clueless as to what you should do. Okay.
You just let us know if we can do anything to help, all right?
All right,
Word of advice: don't
Thank you,
eat
my
the
dear
cheese.
lady.
Don't eat the cheese again. As he does that, he licks a little cheese crust off his whisker. So anything else you want to talk about? You still have like some time, but whenever you're ready, you just say, "Okay, we're done now." Let's say that the hour's just eaten up. Pardon the pun. And you can go back to the defense table.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
cool. I'm cool if everybody else is.
Yeah.
Well, I was cool until you almost messed up the case for us. So, therefore, I feel as if we need a plan B.
You should get a lawyer. You guys should really get a lawyer.
Yo, you need to get someone who knows what they're doing because
We are surrounded by guards. I suggest we do not try and do a plan B as you say, because we would die. The only way we're getting out of this is by being clever and using our brains. Master Dwarf. Nice shoes.
Thank you.
Cool. You're flattering the wrong person. Okay, are you finished then in terms of your huddle? Anything else you want to say to each other, or is that basically done?
No,
I
I'm good to
think-
go. I am good
I
to go.
think
All
we're
right,
good.
cool. So you make your way back. You sort of go, that, and you sort of Quint go. You scurry. You accidentally scurry back up to your stool in a way that is a bit too ratty for your liking. So you sort of dust yourself off and go, and you shake yourself off and sit down. Then you cross your legs as if you're a human. The prosecution are called back in again. They start coming back in. Pickles looks at you very suspiciously. Richter comes back in. He looks like he's been eating cheese. He's got cheese marks over his feet. So obviously
It's
the
not just
Gorgon's
me!
It's not just you. Well, yeah. Well, precisely. So he sort of finishes off. Oh gosh, that was delightful. Anyway, what were we doing? Oh yes, this thing. Well, let's why don't we try and wrap this up, buddies? So Pickles, anything else to add for summation? Pickles comes over and goes, yes. Quint, Mr. Ratin Man, you may leave the stand, as it were.
No, he has not been cross-examined by the defense.
Yes, I would
sir.
like
Drat!
to cross
I thought you'd fall for that. He goes back. Fine. Defense witness.
So, Quint, yes.
Yeah, I suppose you would like me to explain my behaviour to you and the rest of the court.
That would be absolutely fantastic, yeah.
Now, some people have seen my behaviour, which is fairly common for a womb-cursed human as I am. My father and mother were very, very closely related. Such acts of nature do not go unpunished in the natural world. They were visited on the night of their union by a river spirit, a Kushtakar. And I'm sure you all know what a Kushtakar is.
Bless
It is
you.
Right.
It's a member of the otter folk. They cursed me in my womb to repent for such sins.
I put my hand up like I'm in a class.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are they related to the Squirrel King?
Very closely.
Oh yeah, in that case I have heard of them. Yeah, I do know them. That's all right. Then carry on.
Merrick, make an initiative test, then text me the what you got.
Oh, what a Kustakar is, yeah? Oh, it's
what?
an
You
81.
didn't have to text me. I'm sorry, that's fine. I'm going to send you a message.
I know this sounds far-fetched, and you have seen me gorging on cheese, so naturally you think me what this thing is called a skaven. But whilst you have seen that with your eyes, other things you must see with your eyes as well, and also believe, is that not the nature of law, Your Honor? What you see is what is. Is that not right?
Put my hand
Judge.
up again. I put my hand up again.
Yeah.
Did the Kustikara make you like cheese?
I have a natural predilection for cheese. I like it. That's a human
Oh,
thing.
there's pickles.
Just like the judge here. I can see it on his whiskers.
Yes.
Then answer me this, my lord, and the defense and the prosecution, and everyone in here. If I am indeed a skaven, a rat man, then what rat have you or any of you seen that has an otter's webbing? And I open my hands.
Oh, I see. Oh, so in matter of fact, you are saying you are actually of
I am a
mixed
human who was
race.
cursed. No, I'm human and I was cursed. As we well know, it's easy to curse women's their pregnant bellies. They cannot go out and look at the full moon for risk of risking their unborn child. I was cursed in the womb. I am human.
So you are human and you have been cursed to look like a Kustakar otter thing.
It is not my desire to be the way I am, and I am punished for it every day. And I see this court wishes to punish me again, but I am human.
And that is extremely unfair for the court to punish you as a skaven, as you say, even though you are not one.
I live every day as a cursed man, and you would call me a mythical spirit as well. Have you no humanity?
Have you no humanity? Not you, your lordship, but everyone else.
Right. At this point, Richter bangs the gavel incredibly hard but very slowly, like bam, bam, bam. And he stops and goes, hang on a moment. Hang on. So, he points at Ratty. You're saying, we've established that you know her, points at Granny Smith, and you know this person to my right, in points at Gwen, and that you know that that these were-otter creatures exist. Right? I'm trying to get the understanding of what you're saying, because it's... Yes, that's what you're saying. You know these things exist, right? And they pass on marks, as it were, right? That's what you just said.
Would you like to see my birthmark again?
No, I'm fine with that. No. I'm just trying to understand what you're going on record of saying. That's correct, right? These things curse people, yes? It's like a mark on them.
On the body.
Is none of that...
Pickles steps forward and goes, yes, sir. If you want to read the minutes, I believe you say that's exactly what he said. Not only that, sir. And Richard goes, yes, Pickles, carry on. I was getting quite bored of talking. But Pickles going, and not only that, sir.
Hang on. I just got completely talked over there.
Well, it's not. Yeah, Richard goes, I know, and it's not your court, buddy. So until you sort of work your way through law school and end up where I'm sitting, you might want to mind your P's and Q's. Carry on, Pickles. Pickles goes, yes, and further to that, he also said that he has been changed, cursed as it were, and changed into this type of creature. And therefore he bears the mark, does he not? Richard goes, well, I flabbergasted. The defense seems to think that's a good idea. Yes, that's what he said. Well, I have a little bit to think about. Pickles goes, the prosecution at this point rests, sir. Apart from the fact that they did also murder 3 people, I'm sure you can factor that into whatever you're saying. But yes, we have no further questions for anybody. I think this is an open and shut case. Richard sits back and goes, well, blow me down with a feather. And sits and goes, I have to ruminate. hang on a second. And he sort of goes over and whispers to one of the little court clerks, and he just goes, and the court clerk just nods, rushes out, comes back with a plate of cheese and an apple, and just hands it to Richter, who sits back and starts munching on the cheese. None for you, he looks at Quint. You've had enough. And he sort of sits there going, well, as this is a jury by judge, as it were, I actually think I can safely say I understand what this case is now. And I'm ready to make my final verdict. You do not need to sum up, either of you. He points at Frida, and then he points at also Pickles. He goes, by your own admission, then, you bear the mark of chaos. And you, his friends, also understood and knew and abetted this man with the mark of chaos. And therefore, you are all guilty of sedition. On whether or not you're guilty of the people murdering, well, they're just sewer jacks, aren't they? He sort of guffaws a little bit. But that's okay. It's not a huge penalty. A little bit of light burning, I think, in the morning should do it. Yes. And I tell you what, I'll execute your friends while I'm at it as well. Well, that's it. Well, this is an open shut case. I thought it was going to go on for days. Well, thank you so very much.
One small thing, Your Lordship. I'm just inquiring about the burning. I was just wondering, is it just the three of them getting burned? And
well, funny you should say that, because I'm an amateur historian of law. It used to be the case that if the people were found of sedition, their lawyer would also be burned. But of course, we're not savages, are we? We don't do that kind of thing anymore.
Of course not. No, Your Lordship, you would never do such a thing ever.
So yes, so that's it. A nice open and shut case for once. Fantastic. Well, I'm very pleased. So as soon as I bang this gavel, you shall take the guilty now, I say, to their cells, where tomorrow morning they will be burned at the stake for public amusement. Down with chaos! Everybody in the audience goes, down with chaos! And then the guards immediately sort of surround you and your table. And then Richter turns to you, Quint, and sort of points and shuffles his gavel a little bit, like you're supposed to scoot off and join your friends. That kind of motion, like a little. He's smiling quite happily. I
feel we just got railroaded there.
A little bit.
Oh man, this entire thing's been railroaded from the start.
Well, basically, to make sense of what just happened. You just admitted that you are a were creature, and were creatures.
No, I didn't.
Well, you kind of did. You basically said that you were cursed. That you were cursed, which means
I was womb cursed.
Yeah, but curses. But here's the thing: curses in.
He hasn't banged the gavel yet.
You're trying to convince the DM. Here's the thing: any curses, whether it's right or wrong, is deemed as a mutation. A mutation, you're automatically killed on the spot. So whether or not you're a good person or not is immaterial in the Warhammer world, sir. And that is actually something you can find out and corroborate if you wish. So Richter stares at all of you and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I still haven't done the gavel thing, have I? Well, here you go. I pronounce the guilty as charged. Apart from the whole the three people killing, we'll just say that didn't happen. It's fine." And so you hear some sobs from the audience, and then he just goes, "Well, but the sedition thing and the chaos thing, absolutely. So you should be burned at the stake tomorrow, and Sigma preserve us. Sigma preserve us." Case closed, and let's look at the time. I can go to the Golden Trout. How fantastic! Are you a member, Frida?
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, I believe I should join you as well, Your Lordship. That sounds great.
Unorthodox, but why not? Okay, well, guards, take them away. Take them away. Pickles, you're invited as well if you wish to. Pickles just stands there and goes, No, I'm quite happy. I've got a fish dinner at home. I believe they do nice fish dinners usually. And everything, the court starts clearing. There's a huge cheer from the crowd, and all the guards just surround you. There's far too many for you to fight on, especially because none of you have any weapons on you, really. And they immediately sort of like, I'm going to say they bag and tag you. They immediately bag your heads and lead you out of the court, putting manacles back on you quite roughshodily. And very quickly you find yourself back in the cells that you were occupying only a few hours beforehand. They throw you in, they lock the doors, and you are essentially set there. And this time there's not that many guards on duty this time for some reason. And you have pretty much. I'm missing one of the. Dude, can you move one of your hands? I think I'm missing one of the. Who's this? That's Ratigan. You should be in here.
I think it's me. My bad.
Yeah, no worries. I'm trying to find Quint. Oh, there's Quint. He's on the stand. Yep. So Quint, you get thrown into the jail cell opposite Ratigan.
Right.
Doof. Clam! Okay, things have gone from bad to worse. Supposedly...
For some.
For some. Somebody else is having
Frida's
fish
pulled,
dinner.
so we're all good.
So yeah, Frida's pulled. What are you going to do? The door's shut. It is dark at night. You have apparently only 10 hours or so before your execution. You may talk about this.
Can I ask, in the time that we've had before the trial, did we recover our wounds, and did I have a chance to recover my magic points?
You slept and rested, so I'm going to say that yes, there was enough time, because it was an afternoon matinee. It was an afternoon matinee, that yes, you would have recovered all of your wounds and your magic points as well. Quint, including you actually as well. So you were all pretty much back to health. So whatever your magic points or wounds were, you can put them back to maximum, as you had a decent night's sleep and a good rest, and you feel, despite the awfulness of the news, you feel okay. You notice that the rest of the people in the cells have all gone. I guess there were one-nighters. There are only 2 guards on this side of the door. As you were brought back in again, they took the hoods off when you got into the watch building, into the prison area, and you did see that your stuff is still in the box of quote-unquote evidence, which is on the side there. So at least you know where your things are, even if you can't get to them. Your ferrets sort of scamper out of the hiding hole they were in, Tom, and they sort of they jump into your cell through the open bars, and they scurry up and start nuzzling you. Granny Smith, you're sort of not entirely sure how you've basically managed to dodge the charge of murder, but gained worse charge of chaos sedition.
Ooh, I wouldn't blame the lawyer on that one. That weren't me.
Well, at least we don't have to pay the fucking lawyer.
Talk amongst yourselves, folks.
Did anyone get any of that cheese?
No.
Yes.
Did you care to share any? I don't suppose you got any crumbs you can share my way. I'm starving, and if we're going to get executed, I'd like to be going on a full stomach.
Well, that's actually a point. Don't we get our last dinner?
You hear one of the guys at the end of the hallway go, "Oh no, they know about the last dinner thing. Do they? Yeah, the old bat just said it. Oh no, really? Well, that's a lot of effort. All right." So this guy who swims forward, whose name you couldn't care less about, comes to the guys and goes, "All right then, you heard about the last dinner thing. I don't know who told you. So yeah, what do you want?"
Oh, I need time to think.
Give me a few days. I'll come back to you.
I would like 48-hour slow roasted pulled pork, but done fresh, please. With some peas.
Does anybody know of any really rare animals which are really difficult to get hold of, which when cooked up taste quite nice?
Zebras.
Well, yeah, that's good. Side of roast zebra. That, you bastards. Right, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to Plan C now? It's Plan C, okay.
Told you we needed a Plan B. What?
As you
Did I not say this?
As you say, told you to do the Plan C. You hear that coming from. There is a voice coming out from the outside wall, which is apparently to the street. A little ladder goes punk and going ding 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 ding, and Merrick appears, still now dressed in his normal awesome suit. The other suit is awesome as well, but that has a headpiece. This is the suit without a headpiece, and he's sort of standing against the window right there, between the bars. These guys have taken your orders for whatever meal you asked for as your last one, and now walking back off. There's only one guard here, and he doesn't seem to be paying attention. He's actually playing a really shit game of jacks by himself. And Merrick is sort of up here, sort of stage whispering to you all, but even though you can hear miraculously. You see Merrick.
Sorry I took so long. I had to go back and change.
He burps, and you think you get the distinct waft of quail.
No. Yes, and I had some dinner too.
It's been 3 hours.
You know, Lordship is actually quite a nice guy.
What did he talk about over quail?
Oh,
He
just
talked-
many things.
He talked mainly about it. Just only Merrick knows this, but he talked mainly about the execution tomorrow and what fun it was to do that course.
No, he's got a lot planned for you tomorrow morning. Yes.
He's making a real effort.
He's going all out. He's proud too.
All right.
But I believe you don't want to be executed, so therefore,
You
I feel as
believe
though
bloody
I
right.
should bust you out of here.
But, I mean, I like you just gone with the ladder route. Let's just get this these bars open, and we can just come down the ladder, right? I mean, seems pretty easy. Kind of, there's no one out there looking at you. I mean, how's that working?
Oh, the guy next to me. Oh no, he used to work for me. Don't worry about him.
All right.
Oi, boss.
but I,
boss, my arms are getting tired.
Yes, no. We'll be done in a sec. So, the plan is I'm gonna bust you out of here with some TNT I managed to borrow for some friends. And let's just say, it might be a small problem, though. I can bust you out of here, but, you see, I never did get paid for that wedding, and I never did get paid for representing you in court, so, I feel as though, this TNT is pretty pricey. Ooh, cost me a few bucks.
You see him sort of bring out a massive piece of TNT, which looks exactly like it does in Acme cartoons. And he starts like throwing it, like really dangerously throwing it up and down in his hand, as if it was a child's toy.
Yes, ooh, this cost me an arm and a leg, and a couple of other arms and legs as well. So, let's just say it's gonna be pretty pricey for me to bust you out of here.
Well, I never got paid for saving your life from that big jelly monster in the sewer. Just saying.
She must have studied law. Shit, she's good. She should have represented them.
I say, I always liked you, Granny. I've always liked you. But still, I might be able to bust you out, but the other two, let's just say their debt is growing by the day.
I've got some carrots.
He pulls out what looks to be a very rotten, slightly soft, and let's face it, a little bit limp carrot.
Oh, that's fine. I just had quail. You're gonna need to come correct this time, Ratty.
Quint, what have we got to pay the nice what have we got to pay him?
We have cheese crumbs, Master Ratigan. That's about it.
And this carrot. Okay.
Well,
Can
It'd be a
I?
shame to waste this TNT.
He's still throwing it back. This time he's like juggling it on his head, like bopping his head and bopping it like a football into his hand again. He's like rolling it around his arms. Really dangerous.
Okay. Right. I'll tell you what. Right. We generally stumble across nice things when we're doing our. We go off and we go and see stuff and we fight things. We find stuff and it's nice stuff sometimes. We have some of it. We've lost it all. I mean, I don't know where all our gear is, but we've got. What I'm saying is, stick with us, and you definitely will find. We'll find some more nice stuff. You can have my share of the nice stuff that we haven't got yet that we will find in the future. I'm not sure if I speak for Quimp. He might give you some of his stuff that we find in the future that we haven't got yet. But, right now, I think our priority might be not getting burned alive at the stake or heads chopped off or drawn and quartered or whatever it might be that's about to happen to us. So, yeah, basically consider the carrot a down payment.
A down payment, you say? That's marvelous. That's marvelous. And I like the way you use the term we need to get out of here. But judging by the circumstances, I'm already out. I'm fine. And looking at the sky, looking like daylight is coming up soon. Looks like the sun might be rising. I'm gonna feel as though a carrot as a down payment isn't really something that I can, get with. As the last time I went on an adventure with you, I damaged my suit, almost destroyed my brogues, and if it wasn't for Granny, I wouldn't even be here.
Who knew that Einel was going to be the big bad of the season?
All of the new suits that we find in the future, any new suits we find, you know,
Darling,
he could be telling the
truth. You look very good in a nice orange crocheted suit, let me tell you. I can do you one of those.
Oh, now that's something that has piqued my interest. Tell me more, Granny, about this.
Well, what I do is I get my needles out of the evidence box that is just over there, if I could just get to it. And then I will crochet you all kinds of different orange. Like, I'm thinking darker at the bottom and lighter at the top, like some kind of beautiful, what's the word? Not tie-dye, absolutely not. That's hideous. What's the word I'm looking for? Graduated orange, crochet number. And I'll do that on behalf of the others because, I'm doing that as a favour to them, not to you, really.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Granny. Well, seems like things might be in your favour after all, as I also found out some information.
Oh.
Yes, those sewer jacks. I feel as though you may have been set up. Yes, those sewer jacks, they're pretty new. I was speaking to Bob after at dinner. And it turns out most of them...
Wait, Bob had dinner with you?
Oh, yeah, Bob came along.
How many camps is this guy playing for?
You see, it's a small network of service workers you see around here. And turns out I've worked with him before, done a few events, and didn't recognize him in the court, but obviously I was undercover. But turns out that, yes, I might be able to bust you out of there after all. Obviously for a, let's say, 70-30 split on the next adventure we go on.
I mean, I did just offer you all of it, but fair enough. 70-30.
Don't!
Yeah, and that's a verbal agreement. That's legally binding. You know that for a fact.
Can we get the fuck out of here then? Have we made a pact? Are we done?
Yes. Well, apparently they were some sort of stevedores or something. That's what I heard. Does that ring a bell to any of you?
Does anybody who's lived in the city? I guess Granny Smith has, right?
Yeah.
You in fact, you come from here. You know for a fact that the stevedores are basically guild members of dock workers. They work the warehouses. They transport goods in the city. So they don't move goods to the city, but they move things around in the city. They are essentially the lifeblood of a market city such as Bogenhofen. Without them, this city would not run properly. And because of that, they are notoriously corrupt. The head of the guild is a man by the name of Franz Steinhager. Steinhager is not a very nice guy. In fact, you may or may not have done some business allegedly with the Steinhager group at some point, although you've never actually met him, but you know what he looks like and you know his reputation. He's a bit of a nasty piece of work. The fact that this is you quickly making 1 + 1 = 2. The fact that these dock workers were immediately roped into the sewer jacks the day before, or the same day, or whatever it is, it seems unbelievably unlikely because there were so many of them. So this is definitely a good clue and a terrible piece of news simultaneously, because if you don't know why these fuckers have got the ire of Steinhager, but this is a major problem now, and you've been lumped in with them, obviously, so that's not good.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're fucked, yeah.
Oh, aren't we all?
So what does that mean? Once we're out, we're not just on the run from this judge fellow who's made a very hasty one. Is he in with the Steinhager lot?
Oh, I had to make my excuses at dinner to actually get some TNT, so I didn't get that far in the conversation.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, where did you get that from? Exactly.
I feel a few of the questions we ask.
Let's just say I called a couple of staff meetings before I came here. But shall I bust you out of here, guys?
As you say that, the door on the other side opens, and a head pops around, and it's Fred, who's one of the guards. He goes, "You all right in there?" Merrick, you instinctively duck down slightly so your head isn't actually like peering through the bars at the window.
Thank God you've not got the wig on.
Yeah, thank God you haven't got the wig on. Yeah, so
What is that magical
This is
floating
why I
wig?
changed.
so
A
yeah,
large cloud.
Fred points his hand around and goes, "For it'll be a little while. It's the essentially Renaissance period. It's not going to be quick. It's not like fucking Uber exists. Are you all right in there? I heard a lot of chatting. I mean, it's okay if you're chatting. I don't mind. I'm not listening, but it just seemed a bit heightened. Well, I guess you're being executed
stomach
tomorrow, aren't you?
rumbling.
Oh, it's your stomach. Okay. All right.
The condemned man likes to mumble to himself, "Dear God, yes."
Oh, he looks at you. He looks away and looks at you with disgust and slight horror and goes, "Yeah, ooh, I see it now. You're a ratty little man." He just closes. Goes, "Well, try and keep it down," and closes the door like very, very quickly.
Love you too.
Right. Merrick, your head pops immediately back up again. In fact, the TNT is balanced on your head. The TNT comes up first.
It's turned into a Looney Tunes
It's a
episode.
little bit like Looney Tunes. The second I said Acme TNT, my head just went, "This is fucking Wile E. Coyote all over it." All right. Sorry, folks. Carry on.
Right, what's the plan? I want my stuff.
Yeah,
Well.
I suppose actually, I can leave my tree branch behind. There is some other stuff actually. No, magical. Yeah, how do we get our stuff? This is a problem, right? Like you could blow a hole in this wall, but what about our stuff? Are we leaving that?
We're gonna have to take a gamble. Either you find a way of getting your stuff, or I blow this wall down and you leave the stuff behind.
Who is
Well,
it? I can't see.
or you could just blow it up and then in the kerfuffle try and grab it. Just
Or that.
Yeah. actually, no. Actually, out of fucking nowhere, Ratty says that, but he says it in a really deep, growly voice, which is weird. All of you get taken aback, and you'll look at Rattigan. Rattigan, that familiar sensation happens as you sort of say this. "Oh, you could just go and get it out of the box," and as that happens, the whole world just goes. Time dilates and stops. Your hairs that are sort of on your whiskers that have been floating around, the hairs on your scruffy head, sort of start slowing down, almost like they're floating through water. Out of nowhere, your entire vision just goes completely white, and you find yourself back in this wonderful astral plane of whiteness. And you can see this little figure coming out of the clouds towards you. And it's a very large brain on legs. And he just pops
God,
its-
no.
There's out of nowhere, out of nowhere, like poof, this little kind of like ratty-tatty armchair with one of those, those old grandpa armchairs that's by a fire, probably a bit too close, and looks like stained with tobacco and probably
I love the way it's
spent
filling out this
brandy.
world.
Yeah, man.
This astral plane world.
Yeah, really. I'm trying to pull out the boat on season 2. And it's like brandy stains all over it and some crumbs of mince pies. And the brain just sits down and then just looks around and goes, hello.
Ratty.
Rattigan. He like says almost like surprised. That's right. Your name's Rattigan. It's been a while.
Yeah, all right, Gary. It's been a
Gary.
while.
Oh, that's my name, isn't it? You refer to me in this plane as Gary the Brain, or your brain, I guess.
Yeah, you're my brain called Gary. That's right.
So time out, folks, just very quickly. Anybody doesn't know what the fuck is going on, you should really watch season 1. So Rattigan's brain is disassociated from his intellect somewhat, and therefore his manifestation of this is Gary the Brain. Let's talk to him and give him advice. Whoosh, we're back in the episode. Sorry, Karen.
Yo, that's a good power.
It's
I
pretty
want
good
that.
power. It's pretty cool. Tom, actually, I suddenly realised Einel and Jess, you have no idea who Gary the Brain is. That's what Gary the Brain is.
I was just going along like, this is it.
Yeah, Gary the Brain. I haven't read that rule.
Everyone knows Gaza. Yeah. cool.
Jess suddenly hurriedly flicks through Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay First Edition to go, where is the brain familiar thing?
Flicking through the books.
I think you'll find it's on page 53.
Right next to the insanity table.
Yes.
Tom, sorry
Idiot.
to interject there. Carry on, please, Tom.
All right, Gary. It's been a while. How you doing?
I'm great, actually. Things are going really well. I'm writing a book. It's called Grey Matter, with a question mark to make it mysterious.
I
And
love that.
I am,
Sounds-
yeah, it's great. I've got a ghostwriter that I don't want to write
I
it.
mean, that's kind of amazing considering I can barely read or write.
Well, that's you, isn't it? I mean, no offense, mate, but I mean, you've done lucky. You've
That's
done well.
a you problem.
That's a you problem. You've done really well to get where you are, which, by the looks of it, you're in jail. I think you've done marvelously well. I mean, most people just get executed on the spot, don't they? But you've clearly gone to some lengths to prove your guiltiness and everything. I just think it's great. I think it's great.
I mean, I've got to say, Gary,
Yeah.
you are in here with me, mate. That is.
Well, am I though? I mean, look around. This is like one of those astrally planey things, isn't it? Am I here? Are you here? Are we really here? It's very It's quite metaphysical. I don't really like talking about metaphysics. It really confuses me.
I can see why I wrote a book.
But the chances are, Gary,
Be clever.
that if I go, all right, you do conceptually exist in the astral plane, but technically you're also basically the pink blancmange in my head.
Am I? Am I really? Oh, that's a turn up for the books, isn't it, Commander? Oh, all right. I thought I was a god. I thought I was a legend in your imagination, so powerful that I could break reality with my eyes.
God of what exactly?
Quiet, rat. You're not in here.
Get out of my head, Rat.
Get out of my head, Quinn.
Can we just hear Ratty being like...
That's canonically what nobody knows when we've discussed it, because you two are new. You all hear Ratty going... That's himself.
both sides.
As he still does the physical motions he does in the astral plane. So he's wandering around his cell, pointing at nothing, and then looking away, crossing his arms, and then pointing back at nothing again in the same location. So
He's lost it.
You're right in the first place.
So, Gary, right? I'm just going to say, it is basically right I'm going to just suggest that it is in both our interests.
All right.
To get out of this situation.
Well, I don't know much about that, so you're the expert. All right. The whole reality.
Have you had any thoughts? Just wondering, have you any thoughts? Is there a way? That guy Merrick out there is going to blow up the wall.
Nice guy, lovely guy, nice guy, good guy. I wish I was his brain. That'd be great. I know he never really wanted me as a brain, but I never really wanted you either. Sorry to say that, but I thought we have a zone of truth thing going on here right now.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you could maybe soften that blow, maybe a little.
Oh
bit,
yeah, sure. Sorry, mate. I mean, I'd like to be a brain. I just don't know if we're compatible. How about that? Does that smooth it over for you?
Once again, I will suggest that we are stuck with each other.
All right. Okay. All right, Commander. All right. You made your point. All right. You made your point. All right.
Anyway, to the point at hand.
Yeah.
Have you got any ideas on what we should be maybe doing to get out of this predicament and maybe get our stuff back?
Yeah, I've got an idea, but it's a question more than an idea.
Oh, interesting.
Can you? Because you do the magic thing, right? You're still doing that. Is that still working out for you?
Yeah.
Do you have to learn your spells? Do you have to learn them every night?
You still do that magic stuff.
You still that magic stuff. Do you still learn your spells before you do it? Is that how it works? I mean, it's all weird to me. It's very eccentric and strange. But by the way, if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, this is based on my dad. So a lot of this stuff that we talk about bleeds into my own need for therapy with my dad. So just if it seems a little where are they going with this?
Do you
Basically,
still do
it's my
that stuff,
therapy.
do you?
Do you do that acting?
How's it working out for you?
Are you doing all right? Is it going well? Are you? Are you really? It's all that stuff. So yeah, it's my dad.
I've got tears in my eyes.
He's in the public domain, so I think he's fair game, quite frankly. But I definitely wouldn't do my mum in this game. Let's put it that way. There you go. Sorry. Yeah. So you still doing that magic thing, are you?
In there, Gary. Just trying to. Yeah. You were talking about magic. Yeah, I know my spells. I can do my magics.
Well, maybe you do that whole sneezing magic thing, which I think is pretty disgusting, actually, but it's all right. It's your thing. I'm not knocking it. But I'm knocking it a little bit, but I'm not really knocking it. But I'm knocking it anyway. So maybe you should try that on the old Doraruno thing in front of you right there. I don't know.
It's your idea, mate.
Listen, mate, I'm quite hungry. I'm going to go for some fish dinner. It's been lovely to chat with you.
There's a lot of fish dinners happening tonight. Everyone's going to have their fish dinners.
Well, you know, it's that period of year, isn't it? A lot of fish.
I see.
Is that everything? Is that all? Because I'm a bit late, actually. I'd be lovely to talk to you and everything. I gotta go. Yeah, all right.
Enjoy your dinner, mate.
Thanks, mate. You take care of yourself. Stay. Just stay.
Yeah,
At that point, the clouds dissipate and then they come back again. Oh yeah, what was that? What you want to? You call me? Hello, Ratigan, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Once again, you are my really me. You are me. I anyway, Jill, I was just going to say, if you had any more thoughts, any more useful thoughts.
Oh yeah, no, complete. I'll come back to you on that one. Is that right? We'll have a fish dinner. Be great. All right.
How is it a fish dinner? I don't
Anyway,
understand.
mustache. I gotta go. Bye. Love you. Love you.
Right.
Love you very much. But I gotta go. So
Bye.
yeah.
Bye then.
So, as a side note, this was uncannily similar to the actual real phone call I had with my dad a while ago. I was explaining something that was particularly difficult and actually seemingly very problematic. I was driving at about 70 miles an hour whilst I was having this phone call on my headset, so I wasn't doing anything illegal. My dad called and basically asked me about stuff, and I said, actually, things are really difficult and challenging. It's a bit of a nightmare. I think I'm kind of screwed on this one. And my dad just goes, okay, we'll see you, bye, and just puts the phone down. That's a sick. Oh, well, okay, we'll look after you, so bye, and it just goes. So this is a reenactment of that moment.
Are we literally just watching?
Just watching like
Yes, we
therapy.
are, in the cell, just saying, love you.
Yeah, he's just going, love you, fish dinner. Those are the only words you could make out from his mumbles.
He's
as well.
lost. He's lost.
Very quickly, Tom, do you have any experience left? Experience points.
Weren't we all given 200 quite recently?
Yeah, do you have any left at all, Tom?
I think I spent them. When was the 200? When did you give the 200?
Wasn't that long ago, actually?
No, it was quite recently. It was when we got out the sewer. Or just
Yes,
when we
that's
got out
right.
the
Yeah,
sewer.
you haven't had a chance to spend it.
Oh yeah, I've not spent mine yet.
Nope.
That's interesting. All right, so are you trying to will me to learn a spell?
Yes.
Yes.
You've been talking to your brain.
Okay. I mean, you're gonna have to help me with this because I don't know what.
Do not do fish pie.
No.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
So-
want
Maybe learn something about dealing with locks.
So basically, Gary has said, try something on the door. And there is a sort of that instinctive bubbling sensation in your tummy, very much like wind, a mild indigestion that happens sometimes when you intuitively find things. And it's sort of like leading you towards the door, specifically the lock of the door.
Do I feel that I need anything?
Not at this point. No, you don't. You don't feel like you need anything. In fact, your finger, your middle finger is like coming out and is shaking quite dramatically, almost like.
I'm a bit confused because hang on, I'm like, isn't Merrick still stood on a ladder?
He is, yeah.
I'm starting to like this because it looks like you've lost the plot, and I'm just about.
Yeah,
to
by the way, you come to, Tom, and Ratican comes to, and you basically say everybody's just fucking staring at you and your weird finger that's rotating.
I feel as though I
and
should throw the dynamite towards his cell.
Thought I was the freak.
Okay. So I've just got all right. I'm mildly bemused at how Merrick has been able to stay on this ladder for so long without being
Well, here's
any guards.
Well, no, the guards have gone out of the room. That's the thing. The two guards on the other side of the door.
There'd not be
It's got
guards
very
outside.
complex food orders.
Yeah, because of your complex food orders, both the guards left, and they're trying to deal. Fred put his head round the corner and went, "Don't worry, the food's going to be a while." And then he looked at Quint and backed out the door because he looked in revulsion. So he's not on this side of the door. He's actually outside the other side of the door. These
I'm more
massive.
amazed-
Giraffe steaks for the win, man. Giraffe steaks for the win.
I'm more amazed there's no guards outside. It just seems a bit. They're just badly prepared. They're badly.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
I remember I did say last episode, these are not elite guards. These are just fucking. This is their job. They don't like what they do. They're not particularly efficient. These are just dudes that get paid to
Right.
like stand around and be a guard. So these are
Yeah,
not.
I mean, I know one of them. So.
Yeah, in fact, actually, you know one of them. Yeah, in fact, you know one of them. Oh yeah, in fact, there's
Alright,
a reason. Yeah, so there is a reason, Tom. It's not just like careless GMing, although it does seem like it.
Don't know, but all right, okay. Going towards the door, and my finger is drawn. It starts to vibrate. Everyone's just seeing me murbling and talking to myself and wandering around, and Gary, the word, and my finger goes to the lock, and I feel a charge traveling down my arm, and as it reaches the point of my finger, I go, "Open up, you bastard!"
As you do that, your finger does this weird contortion, and it just sort of, the skin just goes and splits, and the flesh and the tissue split into what looks like the same shape of a lock as the lock itself in front of you. And instinctively, your hand just jams forward into the lock, and you turn your hand, and it acts as a key, and goes chink, and the door just gently goes and opens up. Your hand comes back, and it reverts back to normal. Please take 2 magic points off. That costs you 2 magic points to do it. It is a spell which I'm lifting from D&D called Knock. There is a willpower test that you're going to have to make in the future. And if you pass your willpower test, you successfully can open any door that isn't magically sealed.
Ooh,
That's pretty good for a man with only 3 fingers.
that is.
In fact, I'm going to say that's a pretty powerful spell. I'm going to say it's 3 magic points, actually, because you've got quite a lot. So that's 3 magic points, sir. If you want to put down the spell Knock, and it basically will open any non-magically sealed door.
Nice one.
Yeah, that you've narratively just forced me to use my experience points.
Oh yeah, take 100 experience points off. You've also lost 100 experience points. Whatever you were saving up for, you can thank me
for
later.
your purchase.
Thank you for shopping at Sad Neil Stores. Ding ding.
Bastard.
No refunds.
No refunds. Okay, so what else is happening?
Well, hopefully he's getting our stuff.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I reckon Merrick is gonna throw. Merrick is gonna throw his dynamite. He's had
I've
enough
opened
now.
this door, so I'm just basically now can get out into the corridor, right?
Yeah, this is what you see in front of you. So you remember the 2 double doors here lead into a big guard room, and that's basically the exit as well. There is, however, a lot of guards from what you remember being in there. Now, they're not the most well trained. However, they outnumber you a lot. And also your stuff is in this room, or literally next to it there's like an evidence locker room. A walk-in evidence locker, which is where your shit
Our
has been
stuff
kept.
is where the guards are.
Yeah, the guards are
Room
here.
next door.
And there's like, this is the guard room, and this thing over here is like a walk-in evidence locker where your stuff is being kept. It's like this.
And the only way to get it through it is through all the guards.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh.
Where's that TNT? Did you just
How
add
much
more
shit
guards?
do you actually have, Merrick?
No, Jess.
Wow.
No, I did not. That's not.
It
No,
all
they've
depends on
always
how
been
far I can
there.
throw it. That's a
They've
long
always
distance.
been there.
Kill some more guards. To kill some more.
Hold on. So you guys want me to be a murderer because you guys got caught for being murderers?
You're like Faceman from the A Team. You're the only one without a criminal. Oh no, he's got criminal records. It's Murdoch that doesn't have a criminal record. He's criminally insane, so that's why he can walk around a bit more free than the others.
Really?
Yeah, because he's
I didn't
insane.
know that.
Yeah.
But they can also fire fully automatic guns without recoil, Neil.
Which is, and also, no matter how many fucking rounds of ammunition they spray in directly at people, they only hit around their feet. It's quite extraordinary. It's pretty amazing. There's not barely any fatalities in anything. Right, folks, what do you want to do? You have the Tom is free. Rattigan is free. Merrick has a stick of dynamite that he's currently chewing like a cigar. The guy underneath Merrick, who's also holding the ladder, his arms are wobbling.
Yeah, he's getting weak.
He's getting weak. There's a lot of guards that seemingly... And Ratti, you do feel weird about the fact there are no guards in here. It does feel weird. Like something is not normal about this. So it's an observation that you made, and you're absolutely right. It shouldn't be like this.
Okay.
Well, just before I came to see you guys, I had to pay a visit to the guards myself. Obviously, put on a lovely show for them. Is one thing I did.
Wow.
Yes. Well, not me. Me directly.
It was
Put on a
freedom.
lovely puppet show to entertain them. It's a show about the dance of the winged slongercorn. I believe you know it.
I have intimate knowledge of the Schlongercorn.
Yes,
Puppet
it's
show of
very
the winged
entertaining.
slongercorn.
Very
Amazing.
captivating. So obviously I'm gonna have to up my fee. Alright, I think it's time Merrick starts throwing this dynamite. Can I
Yeah.
throw the dynamite?
Yeah.
But it's quite
Right,
far.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any way that the dynamite can just go into this room to blow that wall?
I mean,
affecting theirs?
I'm throwing
Do
it
you know what I
through
mean?
the
How, like,
bars, Granny.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of bars and
Right.
quite an awful lot of fun stuff that can go
Distance.
wrong. It's like,
Including us.
I tell you what, if you get a
And
critical,
Tom is in front of me.
if you get a critical success, I will allow it.
Okay. What do I have to roll for that?
Unfortunately for you, it's ballistic skill, but and then there's some fun stuff if it goes badly wrong. If you get a double, please let me know.
Ballistic skill.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, BS. Oh,
BS.
mine's low.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
yours is-
Yes.
your BS level is low, which is surprising for your character.
It is. There we go.
Here we go. Come on. critical. That is 11. That must be a hit. That is a success. Unfucking believable.
It's
All
a
right.
hit.
Okay.
Oh,
So
my
come
days.
on.
if you go to the left hand
Got a
side
relay.
on the drawers, you can draw these little circle things. I change the color if you can do that, and then point in like red or something, and then
Yeah.
put me a circle of where you want this thing to go.
Well,
This is amazing.
it's gonna have to be the door because there's a cell here,
Yeah.
and
Can you go
and
through
then
the bar?
Okay. Just whack it on where you want it to go.
it's gonna have to be here, guys. We'll have to go through the front door.
All right, cool. Okay, that's it. Great. So, with a very surreptitious fire in the hole, which Ratty can sort of
Fire in the hole.
Ratty can,
When I see him throw that, I'm actually going to duck back into my cell
and close the door.
and close the door. And not lock it.
After you spend all that experience points, back to square one.
This bars, it's not going to help you.
So
That was a waste of experience.
you duck under the flea-ridden blanket they left you. Granny and Quint, what are you both doing as well?
I mean, I don't have a choice but to duck, really. Yeah.
And Quint?
Fingers in ears to avoid tinnitus, I think.
Yeah, very good.
TNT-ness, if you will.
TNT-ness, very good, very good.
Hey,
As Granny says that as a bantering retort to Quint, this almighty explosion just goes ba-boom, and it just rocks the fucking doors off completely. It even blows up part of... I'm actually going to do this in a proper colour. Let's try yellow, maybe? I don't know. Why the bumblebee? It just blows these sort of things apart. It smashes these... almost like a dominoes knock-on effect, and it smashes and twists the bars in such a way that the doors just pop off all of the cells. Quint's doesn't, but the other ones smash open. Instead, these cell walls here smash into Quint's wall, and also essentially freeing Quint. You are all blasted off your feet. Merrick, you actually managed to get a good grip on the window. So you know that bit like in cartoons where the explosion happens, your hair goes back, and your face is covered in soot.
Yeah.
So now your hair is this amazing. You don't have any hair, but if you had
I don't
hair,
have any.
oh, actually, you know what I'm going to say? One of the blankets gets shredded apart, just becomes like fibers, and smashes onto your skull, and so it looks like temporarily you've got slick back hair, and then it just falls away from you, and it just burns off into little mini embers. Your moustache is fine, by the way. So, yeah. So this whole thing blows in. You hear this sort of screams and this awfulness from the other side, and there's lots of smoke everywhere. In fact, there's so much smoke you can't quite see what's happening. However, all of you are having recovered from the shock, and everybody apart from Quint has got mild tinnitus now. The smoke is billowing out, and there's a fire raging. Well,
Don't
not,
even give me that.
there's a little bit of fire. No, there's a little, yeah. Well, here we go. There's a little bit of fire. You think there's something was smoking on fire, and there's dust settling and bricks dropping, and people screaming still, and there's a big, huge noise. But essentially, you are all now free. What are you going to do? Merrick, the plan worked like a charm. You hear this cough from underneath you. The guy holds his hand up as if to indicate you owe him money.
Oh, no. I do have some coin.
No, I meant for the fact that it worked.
Oh, right. Oh,
We agreed a gentleman's finnig.
yes, of course. Obviously, I need to invoice Otherwise, the payments won't. Everything needs to be tracked. So, how about you invoice me and I'll get you a receipt? And then,
so as you're discussing this about a pfennig, which is the equivalent of a penny, we are now in combat round. We're starting combat round.
Listen, that's a lot of money to make.
every penny is somebody else's gold. So combat round is Granny. No, it's Quint. Quint, you have the first bash at wherever the fuck this is. You are first in the order, sir.
The door's gone in, and the guards are unscathed, am I thinking?
No, the guards are very much screaming. Some of them are splattered against the wall in what looks to be a pate of human flesh.
Oh my god, we've murdered more
Allegedly murdered.
Allegedly.
Have you learned nothing from your time in court? Allegedly murdered. Yeah.
My paws are clean, you lot are maniacs. Okay, as everybody knows, I'm a Skaven. Let's lean into it, shall we?
Okay.
Scuttle at extreme high speed towards the evidence locker and grab items.
Okay,
through
you
the
can
smoke, through everything.
Okay, I'm going to say you can make it up until here. You're now in the smoke, which means you cannot be seen, but neither can you see anything in front of you apart from what's by your feet.
Fortune favours the bold.
So I'm going to say that, are you diving headlong, like running full tilt into the smoke?
And screeching as I go, yes.
Fine.
In my most animalistic scream possible to scare the shit out of people.
Please make a risk test. This is a 50-50 chance with modifiers, which I'm going to say is a -10. So if you have to roll 40 or under, it's a 40-60 chance of injuring yourself. You'll get one automatic wound by like knocking your knee or smashing your foot against a piece of brick or something like that because you can't see properly. So 40 or under is what you want.
Let's dance, big boy.
That's a 71. Ooh. Okay, so you basically you clang your foot as you run full tilt. You go "Wah!" and you go "Ow!" and you smash your foot into like a whole bunch of bricks on the floor, causing your big toe to go throb, 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 throb. There's a lot of cartoon metaphors going on right now, but you understand the picture. Can you please? You were on full wounds. Can you please -1 off your whatever your maximum wounds are? You're on 7 these days. What high?
No, I was on. Let's have a look here. 8 wounds, and now I'm on 7.
Mm-hmm.
Healed up very quickly.
Although that's not. You're the white one over here, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so you're on 7 now. Okay, I've done something for you.
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's you. So you're on 7 wins. That is your turn. However, you are basically still running at full tilt. You can see a few bodies and a few leg parts and a few arms and a head. That's still the eyes are still moving backwards and forwards, which is pretty weird.
Hold on.
We'll forgo dinner.
No, it's just happened so quickly that the eyes are still motion, although they are slowing down somewhat. Next up is Granny Smith, or is it Rattigan? I think it's Granny Smith, isn't it?
I think it's Granny.
Granny Smith. What's that?
I'm going to use some silent move urban to get right in there as well, get my stuff.
Okay.
And
well, you're moving this tree, so you're by the door of your cell.
Can I just ask? We don't know if there's no hole being blown in the outside wall, has there?
No, as far as you can tell, it's the interior walls that have been blown out.
We're still trapped inside. It's just interesting. Okay.
Well.
Right.
Yes.
What was it? If you have any magic points, you could try a sort of stoning the outside wall and getting it down that way.
No, it's the equivalent of throwing. It wouldn't do it, Clem. It's not powerful enough. It doesn't blow. It wouldn't blow a hole in the wall.
There is actually a spell which is quite high level. I think level 3, which is Blast, which actually literally is about blowing walls open and tumbling buildings down and stuff.
Do those. I could not get it.
So Granny Smith, you are running. You're hobbling at full tilt.
Hobbling at full tilt.
And Rattigan, what are you going to do, sir?
I'm going to go out as well. I'm sort of going this far and then hanging back, and I'll yell. I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna cover you. Grab my stuff too. Oh, actually, can I send the ferrets to go and grab my stuff?
Yeah, you can totally do that. Yeah. You give them they hop on your shoulders because you go boys or whatever. I don't know if what do you do to call them to you?
I sort of do that little.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. They do that, and they scamper up your arms super quick and sit either side of your head on your shoulders, looking at you intently.
I sort of put both my hands down to the ground, and they scuttled down my arms onto the floor and rush forward alongside Granny, catching up with Granny. But I'm hanging back to because I've got a plan just if things get sticky.
Okay. Cool.
Things are sticky, man.
Have you not been paying attention?
So yeah, but I'm sending my ferrets in to go and retrieve my bits, which there aren't many really. It's mostly my javelin and a few other things, but yeah.
Well, if there is money, grab that because you owe me.
That's the point. Is there other evidence in there that we can get?
Well, you don't know until you get in there.
The irony that you're going to figure out, Merrick, is that Ratty doesn't care about money, so he just doesn't even think about it. So
he should, because he's in debt.
It's your first.
He needs to start thinking about it.
It's Raskin's first grown-up decision. He's taken out credit.
Nothing is nothing, my friend.
You've taken out a payday loan, and you need to pay it back.
On the same day that you take it out, funnily enough.
Yes, with interest.
Cool. Okay, so you're doing all that. The guards, you can hear, are coughing. You can hear one of them scream out, and go, "What about the puppets?" And the other ones are sort of coughing, and a couple of them are going, "Oh my God, he's dead! Oh, look at that!" Oh. A couple of them are throwing up. A couple of guys going, "Alarm! Alarm!" A couple of them are. You do hear like 3 or 4 of them picking up the shing of swords, leaving scabbards and axes being picked off the wall and various bits and pieces. So about these 4 over here are arming themselves. These 2 are pretty stunned and bewildered. The rest of them are either incapacitated or dead, as you see scattered around you. Quint, that first round was free because they were all too stunned to do anything.
Bloody yeah.
Quint, you have the first round, sir. You're back up again. What do you want to do? You're just hearing the smoke. So you can sort of hear voices, but they can't see you, don't think. And although you can hear you, but you went, "Ow!" like that as you stubbed your toe.
Okay, right. You may think you're in pain now, but remember, a bite from a mutant like me will render you a mutant too over the next days and weeks, and you will be on the scaffold ready to burn.
Okay,
so I would stay away from me.
Nice.
Make a leadership test, please, and then plus 10 because you're literally coming out of an explosion with smoke and fire around you, which looks cool as fuck.
Oh, snap.
So leadership plus 10.
Critical fail! Here we come!
That is a huge success. That's 29. Very good, very good. So you succeed. All right, so you see the first couple, they grab their weapons, they back off immediately towards the door. They're like, oh no! Oh, it's the Rat Man! Oh, Skaven! Oh no, Skaven! Am I pronouncing that correctly? Yeah, it's Skaven!
Stop on!
So they definitely back away from position, but the others now are also pulling their weapons because they've heard the Skaven is loose. They're now terrified. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are now pulling weapons or are armed, but they're all backing away. None of them are charging into you, but they're definitely like gearing up. One of them's grabbed like a chair as a shield. Another one's actually grabbed a shield. And you can see the remains of the puppet show here. And it looked. He was telling the truth. It looked fucking.
I thought Merrick was joking.
It's epic.
It looks fucking awesome. It's even got little curtains like that, and then under, like it's all blown away. And you see this dude here is just like crawling very quietly from underneath it. And he doesn't see. He seems to be crawling away into this corner here. He's not even looking. He's trying. It almost looks like he's trying to. Well, you can't see this, but this is what he's doing. He's trying to go away from the action, as it were. He's crawling out of the puppet show away.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. You've been waiting some time today to say that, haven't you? All right, Quint. It is your turn. What do you want to do, sir? That's a free action. What you just did, so you have a real.
Yeah, I know. What is it? We are going through the evidence locker, grabbing sword first. What is it? And putting my armor over my shoulder, basically trying to grab hold of all my stuff.
Yeah. Make a quick test. Make a quick search test, please, which is initiative. Okay. I'm going to give you plus 10 because you can see in there, but they can't see what you're doing in there. So make it a bit easier on you. That's a success. Very good. You find your stuff. It's actually very nicely, neatly bundled up. You find your spider sword and all the other bits and pieces that come with it, so you can just bundle it over your shoulder. Your spider sword you can use, your shield you can use, the armor itself and everything else that you have to take time putting on. Unless you want to take time putting it on, I'm going to say you can't use that. So your shield you can, your spider sword you definitely can too.
Okay.
You also see little neat box bundles of everybody else's stuff, apart from one box which is Granny Smith, which is just bursting with weapons. It's just bursting with weapons. A little terrifyingly, but there you go. So there's 1, 2, 3 boxes here, and yours is the first one. So now you are armed and Skavenish.
Right, well, we're going to continue the intimidation, which is going to roughly basically be me sort of saying that anyone that comes near me is going to end up barbecued because they're going to become a mutant.
So you go out and you're just brandishing your spider sword at them and stepping out into the flames and smoke.
Yes.
Who wishes to be a mutant first?
Okay, that's your go, sir. Granny Smith, you're hobbling like mad. You sort of, as you get into the room, which I'm presuming you're doing...
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The rat sort of boisterously pushes past you and then jumps out and then says that. So now you're in the room. Please make a quick test, which is initiative plus 10, I'm going to say, because you're sort of obscured, so you have a tiny bit more time than you might do for a quick test.
Okay.
So that's 61, I believe.
61, it is indeed. Oh, hello. Hoi. What on earth is happening here?
I don't know. Be gentle with it, Jess. Be gentle.
Come to me, darling.
Too gentle! What'd you get?
Oh, I've just chucked someone else up with it. What have I got there?
48.
48. Perfect, no?
Yep, that's great. So you find your stuff. Again, you've sort of bundled into your rags as many of the weapons as you can very quickly. You pick up your Zimmer frame, which also is double, and also the club and stuff, and your pistol and etc. So you have your stuff with you. You can't use any armor because it takes too long to put up. But essentially, any weapon that you want, you can get access to that you have already. And you're sort of fully armed and fully grannied up. As you tell me what you're going to do after that. You're not going to be able to do much, but you can do something.
Okay, so I would love to use my silent move.
Yeah.
I want everyone to escape this situation, especially as I know that I've had a lot to do with it.
Okay.
Can I strike to stun, but silently, so it's like the remaining people?
Well, if you get close enough, there's nobody you can get close to right now. You'd have to charge them. The smoke is sort of starting to billow out, which is going to obscure both your vision and theirs a little bit. So it might help you or hinder you. Not sure yet. The smoke is starting to billow around. The puppet show is now on fire.
Oh no!
Merrick says through the gap, not the puppet show. So there's definitely like fire and smoke and people coughing. In fact, you're going to have to make a toughness test in a second, but for now, yes, you can definitely do that next round. You'll be able to probably these two where Klim's hand is right now. If you don't mind moving your hand, Klim.
Is it just those 4 boxes in there?
There are 3 boxes.
That's what I'm wondering.
That's the door, isn't it?
There is a
Are we
fourth
considering looting?
Hell yeah!
The red box is a 4th box. Yeah, there's a 4th box in there. That's your goat, Ratigan.
Get
your
that
turn,
box.
sir.
So I've sent my ferrets to get the stuff.
Can you make a test for your ferrets? Do you have the ferret initiative?
Do I have ferret initiative?
You should have. We've talked about this many times, Tom.
Many
times over dinner.
Is it the same as the cat?
I think we did
You
it over
took me
dinner.
out, remember?
You took me out. You promised
Quail.
me. You assured me that you'd do it, Tom. And yet here we are again, sir. Here we are again. I'm going to give...
It's actually really...
And yet I always forgive you.
What is it?
It's sickeningly good.
I even paid for dessert.
You had 2. Sorry, Tom. What were you trying to say, mate?
That wine wasn't cheap.
They've got... Hang on. No, I've not got it written down. I remember in the 70s because they're really fucking fast.
I based them on an otter, and their initiative, I believe, is... I based them on an otter, I think. So their initiative is 40. Oh no, I based them on a... Oh no, they're based on a stoat.
Was this when we was fighting in the sewer?
They're based on a stoat, and their initiative is 40.
That feels very slow.
Well, here's the thing, Tom. If you wrote it down, we'd know for sure. So,
Alright, I'm rolling.
tell you what, let me have the big book of stuff that I write things in periodically and see if I can find it. You roll your dice. Let me have a quick butcher's in here.
I've rolled 54.
That's not going to cut it, even if it was. I cannot see your fucking ferret's character stuff here. Pretty sure that I didn't write it down because you assured me you were going to write it down. Okay, let's say they have initiative for 50. I'll throw you a bone. So that's a fail. Still a fail.
Okay.
That's fine. They have initiative 50. I think that's fair. So yes, they're still scampering around. You hear a couple of squeaks. You hear kind of squeak, bonk, squeak, ouch, bite, squeak. So they're definitely finding your stuff, but they're not like getting it to you anytime soon.
Lad, now is not the time to be messing about. All right, focus.
You're pretty sure you hear a squeak if he started it from Noodle. What do you want to do as your? That was a free action. So what do you want to do as your action, sir?
I'm kind of just basically. This is the thing. I'm kind of covering, so there's not much I can do. I'm basically just tuning in, listening out for shouts of any. Are there any? Can guards enter from the other end of the room?
No, the other end of the room is just like a big wall, and on top of the wall are two small grate windows that are barred.
Oh, I see. All right, they're not stairs.
They're not stairs. No. Do you want to? You're actually still where you're standing by Granny Smith's cell. Do you want to carry on moving forwards into the smoke and fire and stuff?
No, I'm keeping clear of that because I want to.
Okay.
I want a clear vision of what's happening, and also I've got stuff that I can do, which I need to be not right in the middle of everything.
Sure. Okay. Can we please, if you're not going to do anything...
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
The smoke is billowing forward. At that point, I'm going to make a series of tests. Can all of the vagabonds, because I'm going to be off camera, I guess, a little bit for doing this, can you all please make a toughness test, which is your toughness times 10, and you have to roll equal to or under that.
Okay. I'll find some dice.
Interesting.
I fail.
Tom, you're exempt from this, actually.
Okay. Phew.
Alright, cool. Okay, tell me who passes, who fails.
Cool. Is that? Let me just check. Is that 38 for mine?
That is a 65. Oh, that's the wrong dice, sorry. That's a 38. Yes, you pass. Yep.
38. Perfect.
So, Quinty, have you passed or failed? And Merrick, you don't have to do this either. Merrick doesn't have to do this.
Oh, that's a win. 17.
Okay, so both of you, as the smoke just billows past, both of you go, and you take an involuntary, massive, deep breath and just hold it slightly as the smoke just billows past you. And some of the guards start coughing. One of them actually doubles up and starts retching on the floor, almost like throwing his guts up. Another of them just stumbles back, smashes his head. A couple of them back off immediately. One of them opens the door and starts going, "Lads, we've got to get out of here, it's on fire!" And only 2 or 3 of them are left now. They also go and hold their breath and step and charge pretty much straight towards you guys and start running one piece at the moment. This other guy's hurling back. So you've actually lost again. Half the guards have just dropped to the ground unconscious or have fled out of the building as this guy has just done. He critically failed, so he just started fleeing. They are charging you, so they're going to make 2 attack rolls and then you're in combat, my friends. So the first one, Merrick, what are you doing, by the way? I should ask what you're doing, sir.
Well, Merrick is he's shocked that this is the first humans he's killed, I believe.
Yay! Yay! How does it feel? The first one's always the
I
hardest.
don't know how he feels about that. Don't know how he feels about that. It's
fair enough.
First cull is the deepest.
I believe he's If anything, he's tallying up how much each body costs and how much they're gonna owe him.
He's doing immediate mental gymnastics from murder to fiscal cost. I like it. What are you doing as your action though? So you're sort of on the lad. You can hop down and run around if you wish to.
He's whipped out his notebook.
He's just making a very quick note of it.
Yes.
For the love of God, would someone go to their pockets and look for loose change?
Merrick is an angry man. The
that guy
is going up.
That guy doesn't look like he's going to need those boots anytime soon. So what are you going to do? What are you actually going to do as your action though, sir?
The guy next to me is still waiting for money, isn't he? And,
yeah.
Oh my God, it's all going off.
Alright. This is like a little alleyway to the side of the building where the entrance actually is, funnily enough. So you can
I need to still help you guys get out, and we haven't got enough for you guys. It's a tough one.
The obvious
I'm
answer.
actually stumped.
So the obvious answer is running around the corner to help, but you're actually. I like the idea that you're deflecting by going, this is a tough one. The logic dictates, well, I could do this, I guess. You're just avoiding responsibility of this, just waiting for them to make
like
it out.
I'm like half a foot in, and it's whether I want to go all the way in.
Okay,
Pretending there are no witnesses.
So your entire action is procrastination. I like it a lot. All right, moving back to the combat, we have the first person charges Quint and actually slips up on a pile of blood and slips, and he flips over on his back unintentionally and crashes his head on the back and completely knocks himself out. This other person sort of rushes past and actually does hit you, Granny Smith, and he's charging with what looks to be like a two-handed halberd. That's the wrong dice. I can't use that one. I can use this one. And he hits you for 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage to the body.
Wow.
9 points of damage.
With a halberd, which is a two-handed thing with a big fucking axe on the end of it. Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
Not at all. So minus your toughness, and then tell me. And you're not wearing any armor, as we established. So minus your toughness, and then tell me how many wounds that takes.
So 9 points of damage minus toughness 4, so I got 5.
And then what's your wounds at the moment?
Wounds. Hold the line, please, caller.
Yeah, they were up to maximum.
They've gone back. Yeah, haven't they gone back up to? So it's back up to 6.
6. So you've taken 5 points of damage.
So you're on 1.
It's 9 points of damage minus 4.
4 points. Yeah, that's 5 points of damage.
So
you're on 1 at the moment. If you hit 0, you might fall unconscious. If you hit minus, you might die. So that's where you're at right now. Okay, cool. That is that round over with. Quint, you're up next. This guy's just done a hysterical, hilarious backflip and knocked himself out. He's not dead, but he's definitely concussed.
Right, I'm turning to the one which attacked Granny Smith.
Here's the thing. You can't see them because he's literally just running through smoke, and the smoke is becoming thick and fast. That's why you're holding your breath. However, you can hear a kind of like that. Well, actually, a lot more feminine than that, but that's the idea. Coming from
so much more feminine.
Actually, Jess, can you give me a oof? Can you give me an oof, please, Jess? Wow. Okay.
So feminine.
Cool.
Okay, so feminine. So that's what you hear next to you, like that.
Well, I'm afraid I'm on rails on this one, Neil, because you know my character. He's a knight, and he can't leave a fair maiden in distress. He just can't do it.
Fair enough.
So fair.
Okay.
I'm going to try and locate this creature that has caused said damage. What are my chances?
Well, how are you going to do that? Just out of curiosity.
Head towards where the sound was.
Do you have any special skills that might help you?
Plausibly. 1 second. I've got.
I felt like give you a weird skill, like a thingy skill.
Night vision, 30 feet, can see in the dark.
So
excellent sense of smell.
That's it. Excellent sense of smell. Right. Please roll. I'm going to say it's your intelligence. Your intelligence to work out a smell location. So please roll your intelligence. The sense of smell doesn't give you any bonuses. It just allows you to do this. So it's your intelligence, straight intelligence test, please.
Let's roll those goddamn dice. Right.
73 is a fail.
That's a fail.
Okay.
No.
You smell like Granny and something and a dude as a big old pile of mixture. You don't know the orientation of them. You know they're roughly in front of you. You could attack, but you don't know if you'd hit one of them or not. I will know, and I will let you know if you want to. However, that scream was pretty blood-curdling, so it might be worth the risk. It's up to you what you want to do, though, sir.
Okay, well, I do have a disarm skill, so that wouldn't actually hurt them. I can also strike
disarm a weapon, or you can strike to stun as well, yeah.
I would be striking to disarm, so I've got to make 2 rolls. High stakes.
2 attacks. Let's see. Well, your second attack will come after their attack.
Seems fair.
Okay.
Right.
So what are you going to do first?
I am going to barrel in and try and grapple with said person, and if I can have a verbal, I get a verbal action, I'm assuming.
You can. It's not going to affect your modifier though.
Okay.
But you can say whatever you want. Yeah.
My teeth are sharp, and it seems like there is a guard here who wishes to be my brother in mutation. I'm coming for you.
You hear this? Oh, crumbs! From the guard. Please roll your dice. Roll your dice. That's a critical success, you son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! All right. Okay, so you can tell me what you want to do to this guy. In fact, you can stun him if you want. That's a critical success.
Okay, what I want to do is I want to clamp my jaws round his neck, hold him there, and go.
Drop your weapon.
All right, you do so. You clamp your mouth sort of elongates. You're sort of like your jaw opens up a little bit, and you just go, and and the guy's like, he starts completely freaking out, going, what? And you go, like that. He's like, what are you? Hello, evil cows. At that point, he wrenches back so fucking hard. I'm just going to roll for this. He wrenches back so fucking hard away from you out of sheer fucking terror and fear, which he does on a successful strength test, that he literally rips his neck away from your teeth. And you and you open up his carotid artery, and he just goes... And
I don't know why Clem thought putting his
I have no idea. It's like a lion. I'm vegetarian, really. So it doesn't make a difference. He's still got fucking teeth. He just rips his neck away and actually rips his artery away and showers both you and Granny Smith in blood. At that point, folks, I feel we should probably end this combat, which we never usually do. We usually wrap up the combat, but I kind of like this ending. It's kind of fucked up and weird. So yes, you're both showered in blood.
Everyone.
Yeah, you both showered in blood in the middle of essentially a firestorm of your own making. And the most dangerous thing, of course, is that whether or not Merrick's going to work out exactly what he wants to do. Scary stuff.
I go back for dessert.
So this is also our first official jailbreak, which I think was just awesome and very boss. I have to say, I think for what
was this the first time you guys broke out of jail?
Never done a jailbreak before.
Times.
First jailbreak.
And you brought that TNT to the party.
Hey,
allegedly raising the roof. All right, folks. So I think on that note, it's a team vote. Who should be able to do the honors, my friends?
Well, after today, I'm slightly scared of Clem on that.
I'm slightly scared of Clem too. I think Mr. Clem got it right.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you. For the excellence,
very
excellent court romantics and
I
beyond.
also really liked that sort of the huddle moment. That was very eloquent, Clem. I liked that a lot. It was very cool.
Huddling in court.
Huddling in court.
We're fucked.
Honesty, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
All right, the game has been saved. Thank you.
There was no massive plan. It was
no
just
plan
like,
at all.
what are we gonna do?
I actually, the thing is, here's the thing. I had a whole bunch of other things planned for the court, but then you basically self-incriminated yourself because if you're a curse at all or mutant in any way, shape, or form, you're instantly killed on the spot. You're executed. There's no but he's a nice person. They just eradicate chaos wherever they find it. There's no justification. It's like if you say I'm a mutant, you're dead. That's it. You're fucked. Like mutants run away. Now that's okay. Your characters may not have known that, so it's legitimate. But essentially, you self-incriminated yourselves, and that was like, well, that's an open and shut case then.
It's a rule interpretation. It's your world. It's fine.
No, it's not. It's actually canon. If you look at Warhammer canon, there's literally their attitude is show mutation. Any mutation, like a third nipple, people just get burnt at the stake. It's really horrendous.
Oh,
but that was very cool.
Off my shirt.
It was kind of cool. I like yeah. As you look down at both of your superfluous nipples, well, you don't realise you've got two. You just can't see. You think there's a third one you can't see, but you can.
I just thought it was a large birthmark.
On that note, folks. Quint, it is your turn. Sorry, Clem, it's your turn to flip the table. Thank you, everybody, for what has been a really fun fun, very raucous and slightly out of control session. I promise it'll be a little bit more contained. That's bullshit. It's going to be complete mayhem.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Exactly right. So thank you very much, Jess. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mr. Klim. Thank you, Einel. Thank you to the chat and the mods as always. And we'll see you next time. And do it, sir. Do your work.
3, 2, 1. It's beautiful!
It's beautiful! Thanks a lot, folks. Take it easy. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.